Kia ora whānau. Happy July the 12th to you. I hope you guys have all survived the first day of school holidays. It's actually been quite nice with the amount of traffic that's not around in Auckland for a change. It's been a bit of a freezing day here, so we've been sitting down with the heat pump on, the dogs have been curled in front of it. But yeah, so I thought for dinner tonight I would do something quite a bit different from what I typically do. So I'm going to be making some quick Thai chicken meatballs, and I'm going to accompany this with homemade satay sauce. Now, I've never made these recipes before. Hi, Ruth. But let's see how we go. Alrighty, let's make a start. So, into my Thermomix bowl, I'm going to add a bit of a chili. I have left the seeds in because I actually quite like a little bit of the heat from there. I'm also adding in 2 large garlic cloves, and I've also got here a kaffir lime leaf. The kaffir lime leaf is not in the recipe, but I really like that sort of limey zing that you get. So that is all going in. So that's half a red chili, we've got 2 and a bit garlic cloves, and we've got a kaffir lime leaf. So here we go. I'm now going to chop these down for 3 seconds at speed number 7. Oh, sorry, I forgot the coriander. Also put in a couple of bunches of coriander as well. Love coriander. Coriander just reeks of Thailand to me. Alrighty. So, speed number 7. That was about 3 seconds. Let's have a look, see what we got. Oh, look at that. That's smelling so yummy. That is so good. Alrighty. Hey, Nikki and Andrew. Nice to see you guys. So again, because you're making everything from scratch, you decide how hot you want this to be. As any of my friends will tell you, I prefer to go on the slightly hotter side of things. But by all means, you do whatever rocks your boat. Okay. So now I've got my, my chopped ingredients in there, I'm going to start adding my other ingredients. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. It's my tablespoon of fish sauce. I am doing 30 grams of red curry paste. Now I know you're going to say to me, why on earth aren't you making this yourself? Normally I would, I've just had a crazy day. So I'm just going to swipe across, go into my scales. So after 30 grams of Thai red curry paste. Oh, look at that, just a heaped teaspoon. I'm also going to add into that 500 grams of chicken. Now the recipe actually calls for chicken mince. However, what I tend to do is I just buy whatever the cheapest chicken is at the time, and I mince it myself. So to mince it is really simple. You chop your chicken up into pieces about 1 inch square, put it in your Thermi, run it in turbo for about 2 seconds, and you'll have perfect mince. So what I've done with this, I actually bought diced chicken. It was on special, it was half price. So I've got 500 grams here, and it's in, as you can see, fairly large pieces. So I put it in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I want it slightly frozen. And I'm just going to drop it in the bowl, just like that one. So as we're making the meatballs, what's going to happen is that's actually going to be minced down for us. So also into this, we are adding 1 tablespoon of self-raising flour. Actually, I just use regular flour. So I got 1 tablespoon of regular flour, and then I put a couple of pinches of baking powder in it, so it makes things a bit easier. I'm also going to add 20 grams of oyster sauce. I'm just going to tear my scales. So that's 20 grams of oyster sauce. This is all stuff, by the way, you can get from your average your supermarket, guys. So nice and easy to get. Nothing too exotic in here, but it's smelling amazing. I just love the smell of those lime leaves. They are just phenomenal. Oh, a little bit more. Cool. That's our 20 grams of oyster sauce. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to close my scales down and go into turbo. So the idea of turbo is that it's good for chopping up really hard things like frozen things like ice. If you want crushed ice in your cocktails, guys, it's perfect for doing that. Okay, so I'm just going to go into turbo. And I'm just going to run it for a couple of pulses at 1 second. And the idea is we just want to chop that chicken down. Okay, let's have a look. So we're almost there. We've got quite a nice consistency. Not quite a mince consistency, yes. So I'm just going to pop back in and run turbo for a couple more spins at 1 second. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that's much, much, much better. Okay, so now we've got quite a, we're getting to be a mince consistency. What I'm going to add into this is 80 grams of coconut milk. So back into my scales. Because I really like quite a bit of rich things in my life, I'm going to add, instead of 80 grams of coconut milk, I'm going to add 40 of coconut cream and 40 of coconut milk. So here we go. I know, it's all the bad things in life. So we've got 39. Just take this up to 80. Okay. Put our lid back on. And this mixture just works just in turbo mode. So we're going to go back into turbo. Going to set it for 2 seconds. And we're just going to give it a couple of whizzes. And let's have a look, see what we got. Oh, yum. So basically what we've got is really, it's all minced up, it's beautiful, it's smelling absolutely amazing. So what I'm going to do now is just put this into a bowl ready to make my actual meatballs out of. Wow, look at that, guys. That is such a fine consistency. It's so yummy. The garlic and the chili and the kaffir lime leaves just give it such a nice smell. Right. And this will happily feed quite a big family, so it's actually quite a cheap meal to make. And as I said before, you can cut down the amount of chili you put in it, so you make it to whatever your audience is. So, I'm just going to put my bowl to the side. And I'm now going to start my satay sauce. So while my satay sauce is cooking, then what I'm going to do is form my meatballs, which I'll take you through as well. So thanks to the joy of having a second bowl, I put my second bowl on the base. Normally at this point, I would either put it through the dishwasher or hand wash it and then reuse it to make my sauce. So here we go. Let's go make our satay sauce. So I've got a small onion here. So we've got maybe about 60 grams of onion. And again, just because it's me, I'm throwing in a little bit of a chili as well, just to give that little bit of a hit. And we're going to run this for about 2 seconds at speed number 7. So we're just going to chop everything down quite nicely. One thing I love about my Thermi is the way it takes all the effort out of chopping. It's just amazing. Okay, so we've got a rough chop there, which is just what we want. So I'm going to scrape this down. Again, if you like a finer chop, by all means, keep it going. Maybe give it another second or two, and you'll end up with a much finer chop. I'm a bit of a rough guy. I prefer to have things a little bit rough and chewy. Into this now, I'm going to add 20 grams of peanut oil. So I'm just going to swipe across, go into my scales, and weigh in 20 grams. How's that for pretty close? 21's pretty good. And I'm now just going to saute my onions off for about 2 minutes at 100 degrees. We just want to cook those onions just to get the crunch out of them. And I'm going to do that at speed number 1. So as you were aware, I originally planned to cook this on Wednesday night, and I apologize for suddenly changing it. But unfortunately, I had an in-home cooking demo request come in, and they could only do Wednesday night. So a lot of people are asking about the Thermomix before the price rise comes in, because if you haven't heard, the price is about to go up. First time in years and years and years. So things are getting a little bit crazy out there. So if you're interested in getting a look at a Thermomix, get in touch. I'd love to show you one. We're told the price change will happen probably around the 19th, 20th. So now is a great time to try one out, do an in-home demonstration. There's lots of menu items to choose from. And have a look so you can get in there before the price hits. Okay, so Nikki's asking about my slider. So what I've got here is just pretty much a piece of Perspex, and it's called a Thermomix glider board or a slider board. And it just means that what I can do is slide my Thermomix around the bench. Because for those Thermomix owners online, you know that you can't slide a Thermomix because the scales are in its feet. So these sliding boards are really cheap. I think I bought mine for about $13. If you're interested, flick me a message and I will see if I can find where I bought it from. But you can actually use anything. If you've got like a thin chopping board that's big enough and flat enough, by all means put your Thermi on that and use it to slide it round. But don't slide it unless you've got a sliding mat. Okay, this is smelling really, really good. So, here we go. Let's see what we got. That smells really, really good. It's very peanutty and it's quite it's got onion and chili in it. It's just smelling divine. Alrighty, so our next step is we are going to add in 250 grams of peanut butter. So I'm just going to swipe away to my scales. So it's going to take virtually all of my packet I've bought, so 250. And don't forget too, you can make your own peanut butter. So if you want to do your own thing, by all means, go for it. And I chose to use crunchy, but I mean, if you like a smooth one, just use a smooth one, no problem. Wow, this does take a lot of peanut butter. 246. Excuse the fingers, by the way. 252. Alrighty. Peanut butter is quite sticky. Okay. Also into this, we are adding 420 grams of coconut milk. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose a mixture of coconut milk and coconut cream. So we're after 420. So there's my coconut milk, and I added my coconut cream. As you can tell, I'm not really making this the diet version. So, oh, look at that, 418, 420. And then also into that, I'm going to add about 70 grams of water. Or thereabouts. Okay, so once I've got that in there, I'm going to put my lid on. And I'm now going to run this for about 3.5 minutes at 100 degrees, speed 1. So 3.5 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm going to now start actually making my meatballs. So one of the great things I love about this recipe is that you can steam the meatballs if you want steamed meatballs. So for example, you could be cooking your rice in the bottom of your bowl while you're steaming your meatballs on top. You can pan fry these meatballs if you like, but I'm taking option number 3. So I've got my oven preheating to 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm just going to use a mini muffin tray. So you can buy these from the mix shop if you don't have one already. They're absolutely amazing. They're non-stick. They're really good quality. But what I'm going to do now is just put tablespoons of my mixture into each muffin thing. And this way I don't even have to worry about forming it in my hands. It's going to form a little beautifully formed meatball without me doing any work. How easy is that? So these are just going to go in. So I'm roughly going to make around 24 of these. So you can easily feed 4 to 6 people with this recipe. It's great. If you add it with rice, you can even add even more. Wow, this is smelling so yummy, guys. Have any of you guys made something similar to this before? I love Thai food. I love the spice combination. I love the lime, the chili, the garlic. It's just so, so good. Alrighty. And don't forget, guys, we have got a midwinter cooking class coming up. So tomorrow night at 7:30 on Zoom, we are doing a whole lot of midwinter yummy things we'd love to show you. So I'll give you a little bit of a sneak preview. I'm doing the brandy custard, but there's going to be lots of really inspirational recipes happening. So if you can, check out my page, and under the events it's listed. So it's going to be an online Zoom class. Love to see you there. And also, we have got a live demonstration class happening next week on the 19th. So this is going to be at Street Organics, which is in Takapuna. And we're doing a healthy eating class. So again, if you're interested in that, buy yourself a ticket, come along, and you get to try a whole lot of yummy food out. Okay, so we're almost done. Wow. This is smelling so good. Okay, I'm going to have a couple of very big meatballs here, but that's okay. So there's my mini muffin tray, all preloaded. So I'm just going to put this in the oven now at 200 degrees, and this is going to cook for around 15 minutes. Okay. Oh, yum. Yeah, Nikki, that's great. The little mini muffin trays are so good for making meatballs. There's none of this forming with your hands and making sure they're perfect. Just dump them in and cook them. It's so much easier. Okay, let's have a look at what we got. Oh, that is smelling so yummy, guys. So what's basically happened there is that the peanut butter has dissolved into the coconut milk, or in my case, cream. So now we can go ahead with our next step. So into this now, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. That's going in there. 1 tablespoon, I don't know how to say this, but it's kecap manis. It's a really sweet soy sauce. You should be able to get it in most supermarkets. It gives everything a really nice, almost sweet, salty flavor. So we're putting 1 tablespoon of this in as well. You can see it's quite thick. Yum, look at that. Wow. That smells so, so yummy. I'm also going to add, thought I'd lost it for a minute, 70 grams of sweet chili sauce. So I'm just going to scroll over into my scales. And 70 grams of sweet chili sauce. Again, you can make your own if you like. I just didn't have time. 60. Bang on. And finally, what I'm going to add is 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. Alrighty, and that's pretty much the recipe done, guys. So I'm just going to close my scales down, go back to the home screen. I'm going to cook this for a minute at 100 degrees at speed number 2. And that is my sauce pretty much done. Hey, if you guys give this recipe a go, please let me know how it goes. Yeah, it's a great idea using the mini muffin tray. It just makes life so much easier. It's crazy. But give the recipe a go, guys. It's pretty much a quick dinner. I mean, you can have this on the table within 30 minutes from having raw ingredients. And while the Thermomix doing the cooking for you, you can be doing whatever you like. So I'm going to serve mine probably with some steamed Asian greens and maybe some veggies because I haven't been having veggies lately. But enjoy the rest of your day. On Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live and we're going to be making some easy and quick coconut macaroons. It's only got 3 ingredients, so it's going to be really, really yummy. But anyway, hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night on the Midwinter Christmas class. I'll see you later.